Hey guys, welcome to Cameras and Cats. Today we are in Budapest and this is my sister and she's been living here for the last few months and I came to visit her. And today we're going to talk about the Canon AE-1 Program, which is the camera I recommended to her to get. And let's get started. This is a 35mm film camera and it has a 50mm lens. And my sister asked me when she moved to Budapest what kind of camera to get, and I told her this is like a classic camera that everyone loves and it's super easy to carry around, it's very lightweight.
And it's super cute.
It's very
cute.
It
has a great design with the silver and then the black, and I just thought it was really cute looking. So for my first film camera, I was attached to it the second that I saw it.
Yeah, it has that like retro camera look, like with the silver and the black. And I'm actually super jealous. This is like a camera I've been wanting for a long time, but it doesn't make sense for me to get it because I have a Nikon FE2 and they're kind of similar. It is a manual focus camera, so that is like the one thing that is like all manually, like you have to focus it yourself. So it can be kind of slow when you're composing your shot. That's the one thing I told her. I was like, I don't know, it might take you a minute to get used to that. But everything else, like she can set it on this auto setting and just take as many pictures as she wants. So that was like the one thing I was really looking for, was like an all auto thing for her first film camera. So yeah, she loves it so far. She's taken a couple rolls of film. Still have to show you some of the pictures she's taken because they're beautiful. And also like Budapest is like an amazing city. Like we've been taking pictures all day long.
So basically you have an automatic program setting where you can just hit this and then I just keep it on auto here and it will automatically adjust the aperture for different lighting. So if I just point it in this direction, I'll make sure it's in focus. So I just slide this. And so when I'm doing further away shots, I just get to slide it all the way to the right. And then press the button, and then I just use this
satisfying
to wind.
Sound.
It's a very satisfying sound. And then it also shows you how many pictures of a roll you've taken, which is very nice.
What would you say are your favorite features about this camera so far?
I like its durability. I think it's really cute looking, and I just love the pictures that it takes when I'm just walking down the street. It usually comes out pretty crisp. I'm still trying to get a hang of focusing, especially if it's like a person and it's more of a portrait.
Yeah, because when you're like looking through it, it's basically like you're lining up this middle center focus point and there's like two sections and
like
you're
a little
kind of
circle.
aligning them.
Yeah.
And that's how my Nikon FE2 is also. Like it's hard to see when it is in focus. That's like the one thing about these cameras that is annoying. Like my ideal camera would be like this with like an autofocus and then like a flash. That would be like my perfect camera of life, but I have yet to find that camera. So if anyone knows what would be that ideal camera, let me know. Natalie, what do you think about the lens so far? Because it's a 50mm, so it is a little bit more zoomed in than like the human eye. So a 35mm is like, so a 35mm lens is like the most close to like the human eye, and a 50mm is more like a portrait lens. It's a little bit more zoomed in. So I told her she should get the 50 because it has more of like that dreamy, like cinematic quality to it, in my opinion. So what do you think about the 50 so far?
It definitely does. I do like the 50, and I feel like it's what I wanted from the film camera in regards to just how zoomed in it is, because it gets the shots that I want. So it is zoomed in to the degree that I want it to be, so it does bring things closer than like if I'm taking pictures on my iPhone, I'm like, ugh, it's not showing up as well as I'd want it to. When I actually click the picture, it just seems too far away. I'm still trying to get a hang of focusing, especially when it's a portrait setting for people. And I feel like if I'm taking details like food or something like that, still kind of trying to get the hang of that as well, just with focusing it. But I really like it overall, and I feel like the most important thing for me is to take pictures of buildings and like larger landscapes, so I like that. if I'm taking pictures with my iPhone, things are always so much more zoomed out than I'm actually looking at. Whereas when I'm taking it with this, I'm like, oh, that's exactly the picture I wanted. It's like if you're taking a picture from a bridge, then it's gonna be more clear and more up front and zoomed in than it would be like on your iPhone when then you have to crop things and it just kind of gets annoying.
Is there anything you don't like about it?
I don't think there's anything I don't like about it. I think I had to take time to kind of get used to putting the film in and all of that, but that's just because it's my first film camera. I've only worked with Polaroids and then my iPhone, so this is kind of my first like big person camera.
When you were first trying to, what were you trying to do? Oh, you're trying to put the lens on.
Put the lens on, and this one I think was pretty finicky.
She was trying to put it on and it was not going on. And I was on FaceTime with her and we were like screaming at each other. I was like, you just put it on and you twist it. But it was like way more complicated than that, and she had to take it to the guy.
It was a nightmare.
You have to twist it onto a certain setting in order to actually get it to put the lens on the camera itself. Like I think I had to have it on auto and then I had to make sure that other things were lined up with it. So I didn't know that it was like on a different setting. So
that's pretty irritating.
Figured it out. Yeah. Watched some YouTube videos, like ones from Cameras and Cats.
Your first roll of film though, was your first one blank?
My first one was blank, and I think it's because it didn't catch all the way when I was twisting it in and taking the pictures.
If you take a picture and then you're winding, if this little knob is spinning, that usually means there's film in there because it's catching it, it's pulling it.
Yeah.
So if it's not spinning, then you know there's not film in there. So that's like a good trick. That I've learned with my Nikon FE2, because I've shot like 2 rolls I thought were in there but they were blank or they weren't catching or whatever, so that's like always a good trick for sure. So now we're gonna wander around and take lots of pictures in Budapest and we will show all of our favorites, and yes.
It's a crazy person. How are they doing it?
Very steep.
How far we have to walk? So steep. And yet they're on a bike. They passed us. Oh my God, sisters! All right, here we go. We made it.
Well, we're gonna take a picture in front of the castle now. Well, Chris is gonna take it and we're gonna set it up for him and he's gonna click the button.
On this blustery fall day, so I'm kind of thinking I want one with the sunglasses and then one without, because I feel like this camera can capture some good, like clear facial expressions, so I just kind of want to see that and see what the portraits will look like. Here you go, Chris.
God, it's so windy. We're in the street, taking a picture. With the Canon. Dog. Hi, doggy.
So we are in Borivar. It's a castle in like kind of central Hungary. And so I finished this roll of on my Canon AE Program 1. And so basically it won't let me click anymore even when I have it turned on. And so it was a roll of 36 pictures, and so I'm going to change out the film. So what you do to change out the film, when you know that your roll is complete, you flip it over and you press this little black button. So you just press it in like that. I'm just gonna make sure that mine's on lock. That's just like a personal preference. And then I had taped this down because this always flaps up. I think that's just my personal camera that I have. So what I'm gonna do is take this and I'm gonna twist it in the direction that it's telling me to. So it has a little arrow, and then you just wind it like this, and you're just winding back the film. And so you feel a little bit of tension on it, but then you keep scrolling and you can see that the numbers are actually turning on the dial too. You'll kind of hear a clicking sound, and then it gets really loose, so you know that the roll is complete. So to lift up the inside of the camera, you just take this and bring it up, and then it pops up, and then there's your roll. It's hard to get it to catch sometimes. Okay. Let's take mine back.
Thank you guys for tuning into Cameras and Cats. Be sure to like and subscribe and be nice. And you can follow me on Instagram at MilesCatherine or at The Traveling Holga. And you can follow my sister at Natalie. At Natalie.Ann with an E and then 2 underscores. But I'll include it all. So yeah. And have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye guys.
Oh my God, it's coming down the street with this guy. Oh my God! Still going.
The AE-1 program is really great.
And anyway, let's see. What else should we talk about? Chris has been very annoyed with us because we've been taking pictures all day long. Like
all day
long. Like I'm a crazy person. You sure there's film in here, right? Yes. Step up a little. Can you film me?
Yep. Action.
So this is a 35mm film camera.
No. Bum 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 bum.
Hey puppy, is that good or
Yeah.
Sorry. This is my camera.
You guys look like deers in headlights. Just relax. We're just talking about a lens. It's not a big deal.
Okay, well, it's really awkward right now.
Oh, that's cool. So that's the classic.
This is the camera that I want.
Yeah.
Millie said, check this one out, and I saw it, and I was like, that's really cute looking. That's, I think, what I want. Look at those.
And we're done. That's a wrap.